I'm going to go ahead and make everybody a presenter. So, I'm doing good, Karen. Thanks for asking. Dr. Chow and Dr. Dominguez had other obligations tonight, so we're going to schedule another call for a Wednesday for if you had any Q&A for them. But I didn't want to cancel because I had this done prior. Oh, that's good, Cornelius. Do you want? Oh, there's Dr. Dominguez. No problem, Maureen.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's a little faint. It might be my speaker.
Oh, okay. I can hear you well.
What about the other? Can you guys? Did you guys hear Dr. Dominguez? Okay. Yeah, his mic is a little low.
Yeah, I can barely hear him.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
We can
Barely.
hear you, but it's really faint. layer of support and questions. So anyone want to be the brave person to go first? Any questions or comments from the feedback in Unit 5 on your problem statement or anything that we can support you with?
Yeah, this is Jimmy. I have a quick question. It's concerning column 2 on the topic template. So as I'm writing down my business problem, for the text that I put in there, for each sentence that kind of justifies why I'm nominating the problem that I've got, so when I do a citation, do I have to cite something that's in column 1? Do all of my citations have to line up with what I have in column 1?
Correct. So, Jimmy, if I understand you correctly, for column 2, you want to make sure that all of this, everything in column 2 is aligned to column 1. So you wouldn't want to cite something in column 2 that you didn't have in column 1. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, perfect. Great question. So it all maps over. So your citations are in column 1, and then the interpretation is in column 2. And just to expand a little bit on that, you're giving the context of the why, and then you're formulating it into a question. What is the research question in column 2?
Okay, so it's definitely a question then.
Correct.
Okay. I've seen some communication to the contrary, and I was wondering which way to go with that.
Yeah, so you don't want to just throw the question out in the problem statement. You want to have the context of it and then put it in the form of, like, what are you seeking to explore? What is the problem? You know, in that problem will include who, like by a job title or position, right? And where. You want to, so kind of as you're getting narrow in your problem statement, you want to try to form it in a question in column 2.
Okay. I'll take that and run with it then.
Sounds good. Yeah, thank you for the question. For those of you that are just joined, I'm going to go ahead and make you a presenter. In case you have a question, your mic will work.
I have a question.
I still don't have any audio.
Yeah,
What
we
is your
can hear you.
browser?
Okay, who was the person that said they had a question?
Amy.
Hey, Amy.
So column 3 is supposed to be keywords.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, that was an easy question. So the keywords, one hint on that, and Dr. Dominguez, you can elaborate, but one hint on finding the keywords is going back into the pieces of scholarship or the journals, articles that you've cited. They use keywords as well. That's one good way of getting keywords. Another thing, or what are the emerging themes or topics that are coming from the citations and out of the problem statement that you're looking at. For instance, that Venn diagram we did with the 3 circles, that's a visualization of it, but what are the topics within those 3 circles that you're researching? What are the emerging themes? Does that help, Amy?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, but you want to have more than just the keywords in column 3, right? You want to have some supporting text for those keywords?
Really, in column 3, you're just bullet pointing it all out. Column 2 is your supporting text.
Okay. Right here. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Dr. Dominguez, I muted you because you got some background noise. I am recording, Karen. Harry, you want to check your audio one more time? I think you do have audio.
Mute button at the
Hello.
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 Does someone have a question?
Hello.
Does someone have a question?
Hello.
Is that Dr. Yates?
Yes, this is Dr. Yates.
Yes, this is Dr. Yates.
This is Ralphie. Is anything being shared on your screen?
No, ma'am. We just have the
No, ma'am. We just have the
just a
chat
live
pod,
Q&A.
just a live Q&A.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to be sure. I thought something was wrong with my phone. I'm actually on a cell phone. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
No problem.
no problem.
Can anyone hear me? I still cannot
Yes,
hear
we
you.
can hear you.
Dr. Yates.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sure this question has probably been asked a million times, and it may have been asked since we've been on this chat, and I apologize if it has. But can you help me in, I guess, narrowing down my topic? Every topic that I've chosen, it's been very broad, and I'm having difficulty trying to narrow it down.
Yeah, can you share more about what you're narrowing down and what are some of the areas Dr. Dominguez and I can carve through that?
Okay, having a little difficulty with audio. I heard some of that.
I was just asking, can you just type it, but some topics that you're from, or your approach, or more information on the hurdle you're coming.
Okay. I've still been looking at several topics. Hopefully I'm not the only one. But one topic that I've been doing a lot of research on lately is e-waste management. And I know that is a broad topic. And, through my research and reading, I see that, the major problem has been in India. In other foreign countries. So I'm trying to figure out how to narrow that down without having to just, stick with one particular, country, like, even though it's a problem in India and other ones, but how do you narrow it down without just saying, okay, I'm going to look at Africa?
Well,
or is that what you have to do?
Well, it's kind of a lot of different areas. Hang on, I'll mute you out. Okay, I muted you out just so I didn't hear the background of my own voice, and then I'll take you back on, Rothy, so you can hear me. So you can speak back. So basically, when you're looking at population, that's one way to narrow, right? Like the area or the geographic sample population of Africa. And then you could narrow it down from a country into a city into a specific industry sector of that business problem within a particular industry. So maybe you're running up the hill of looking at it from a geographic standpoint. Instead, you need to think about who is the business problem impacting, or what are you trying to solve, and who is the receiver of that information, right? Like, who are you solving the problem for, instead of just looking at it and a specific geographic base. Have you done that, Rothy? Have you thought about it from that way?
Yes, I've thought about looking at it that way also. More specifically, like you said, for the population and answering those specific questions.
Hi, Gary. It's Dr. Yates. Sorry about that.
No problem.
This is Robbie.
Hi, good afternoon. We're coming
Hi,
back
Dr.
to
Yates.
Hi, who was that? Did we make? I was gonna make sure we got everybody on the other side here.
Yeah, this is Robbie. This is David Walker.
Hey, David.
Robbie Danigan.
Hi, Rossi. Dr. Dominguez, did you make it on the other side?
Cornelius.
Hey, Cornelius.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what I was saying. Like really intriguing things, and no one could hear. Couldn't hear anybody else.
This is Karen.
The recording picked it up.
No, I don't know. It's like a
That's my
bad
dissertation topic.
Yeah.
Dr. Yates,
Yes, ma'am.
this is Karen. I am recording, okay?
Okay, I'm on point. Okay, so Rafi, we were talking about your dissertation topic and how to refine. We talked about, looking at the geographic area of your sample population. We talked about kind of triangulation of the themes or the emerging topics that you're working on in column 3. We also talked about maybe looking at, a piece of research and then that really is aligned to some of your topics, and what are some of the other next studies that might be viable. But I think the best way to start is just get it on the paper and start adding to columns, 1, 2, and 3, and start narrowing.
Okay, got it.
Does anyone have any other comments from the team? I know that there's been a lot of good revisions and a lot of good work from this group on, starting with nothing and putting forth a really strong problem statement. Any comments from the groups on tips or hints for her as she goes through this?
I know I started out with hacking, and I switched mine to cloud commuting and outages.
Karen, I like that tool that you shared in our forum last week as far as, I think it's in Google Scholar or something, where you show how many times, I guess an article has been cited in reference to that topic. What was that again?
That was Google Scholar, and Dr. D showed me that, how you go to Google Scholar and you change your settings. And then when it comes up, then you can see how many times that article was cited. Is that the part you're talking about?
Yes, and you were saying the more the better, basically.
Yes. You don't want to go with an article that's only been cited twice, or 6 times. You want to choose a little bit more. Right, Dr. Yates?
I'll let Dr. Dominguez expand on that, on the Google Scholar.
I'm sorry.
I was going to say, is Dr. Dominguez on the line? He could probably expand further on the
Yes.
Google Scholar.
Yes.
I don't know if he's on the line.
Did they see the call in? Let's see. I'm sending a message to him.
Okay. So,
His note said that he got disconnected.
oh, okay.
But Dr. Dominguez talked about the Google Scholar references during the last call, and I think, the higher the number, the more validated it is. I don't know if 30 is a good number or whatever, but, several is much better than 2 or 3.
Yeah, so to add on to that, so when you're going through Google Scholar, you want to reference those that people have really felt like are valid pieces of work and other folks have cited. So for instance, if a piece of scholarship was written and no one cited it, on the Google Scholar doesn't have any hits of additional references, that it probably wasn't like this evolutionary thought pattern or brand new area of thinking, or it wasn't adopted. So the more popular it is, the more times it will be cited. But in our previous call, we talked about, is there a lucky number or an exact target of how many citations an article should have before it's truly viable and truly been adopted? There's no real set number, but you'll see themes that of your largest topic will probably be hit on more, and then as you start to narrow down, it'll be less. But, to whomever was talking, like in the 20s and 30s is strong, and in the hundreds is super strong.
But if I see 1,000 or 3,000, I want to try to narrow that search down, right?
Correct, because you know what, you can use it in your pieces of scholarship as kind of your seminal pieces of work or your conceptual framework.
Okay.
However, you don't want to just continue that study on because it might not have enough uniqueness. It might have been overplayed or overdone.
Okay.
Be positive of that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have a question. This is Harry. Can you hear me?
Yep. Hey, Harry.
When we're doing our literature review and we're making notations and citations of the abstract and the conclusion, is that what we're going to use to build our chapter 1?
Oh, that's a great question. So, yes, to build your chapter 1, you'll be using some of the same content. But the chapter 1 actually comes later, right? You're not going to go directly from this into building chapter 1. You will go into building the literature review. So you'll actually go, in milestone, I believe it's 2, you're going to go deeper in the literature review piece.
Okay.
Also, I'm sorry, on the column 2, the way you're giving context of this is what's important about the study, this is why it's valuable, this is kind of the who cares, that is some of the flow or content that you will use in your introduction statement area, like this is why it's important.
Some are having trouble getting in, Dr. Yates.
And last night, Harry, as I was looking through the textbook, I did see a diagram that basically showed a flow chart of how chapter 1, chapter 2, when that comes into play. So you may want to look through the first couple of pages of the book where I can text you, but it lays that out.
Thank you very much.
Last night when I was reading.
Yeah, I saw that the people are having a hard time getting in.
Are there only a certain amount of people that can get in on the line?
150. I mean, I'm like way under.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, another thing they could do is, I'll give them my husband, but they might be able to call somebody on their cell phone and just have them conference them in.
I'll try to get Maureen. Is Maureen on?
No, I don't see her.
Maureen? Looks like it's just three of us. Harry, Karen, myself. I haven't heard
David.
anyone else. David, okay. I'm here.
Roxanne
Okay,
cannot get in.
Yeah, I've been listening to everything everybody's been saying. Now, David, you're coming over the regular Adobe Connect. You're not even on the conference, or you got them both open. No, I'm on there. You may want to mute your mic. Yeah, mute your mic. There you go. Can you still see me on there now? I see you're muted, so I only hear you on one device now. Yeah. Cool.
Now, Dr. Yates, this is Harry. I got another question.
Yeah, sure.
On section 2, you said to formulate that into a question. I mean, how deep does the question have to be?
Well, you want it to be fairly deep, right? You want it to go through and talk about the who, what, why does it matter. What you don't want to do is say words like security, like what type of security, what angle are you actually taking it in at, and you want it to incorporate the sample population. So, for instance, like, what strategies might a blank person, right? So you want to add in the title of that person or the particular characteristics of that person or particular industry of that person instead of just like an overarching theme, right? So I think we've got a couple really good ones. Joe has a really strong one. We do have, like, I was trying to think of who. DC has a really good one where he goes through and talks about how, in particular, security within waste management of what he's looking at a sample population. So if you can get tight around the who or the what, that will really help it. So, my secret is that you write out the question in the form it is now, and then you go through each word, like why does it matter, who cares, can I take it down another layer, right? Can I add in more specification of what exactly I'm talking about? What type of security threat? What type of framework? What type of infrastructure, right? What type of business? Where in the geography? Who is the consumer of this information? Those are all things that really support the narrowing process of the question.
Dial the number.
Okay, thank you very much.
Recorder to come on.
The best way is to write it out and then write it out again and then, add in additional comments and kind of keep narrowing, almost like a silk, like you're going from top to bottom, smaller.
Like we've been doing since the residency.
Correct.
Oh, well, you want to hold on and listen here?
I think I got mine pretty good.
Well, I'll put you on speakerphone.
I may have
so
to
if you
look
have
at
a
mine
question,
again
you can
now.
say
I don't know.
Okay. I'll be on mute until I have a question.
Okay, here you go.
Yeah.
Let me see if they can hear you.
I'm having a similar issue. I mean,
Hold on, with
my topic, it touches just about every industry. So
can you hear
it
them?
touches so many different industries. It doesn't matter whether it's financial or medical or whatever. Am I supposed to pick one industry and zero in on that one industry and go from there?
Correct. So you don't want to solve all the world's problems. You want to take a very small niche of problems, right? So for instance, the way you might look at which industry you're selecting is where do you have access to a sample population? What has the most impact? Where does your problem have the most impact, right, in what particular industry? Those type of things. But it seems counterintuitive. You feel like it's, maybe a smarter or a more intelligent approach to go super wide and broad, but actually it's the exact opposite. You want to go very, very narrow, because when you get into your defense, there will always be an exception, or, industries will be different in the way they apply the technology or the approach or what have you. So you want to think about the problem, yes, might fit into multiple sectors, but you only want to do one dissertation. So because of that, narrowing to one particular, industry or vertical or geography is much, much better.
Hey, Dr. Yates, I have Roxanne on the other call, so on the other phone. So can you still hear her? Go ahead, Roxanne.
Hi, Dr. Yates. I can hear everyone, and if I have some questions, I'll just work through Karen.
We can hear you fine, so you can just talk. Yeah, she bridged you through.
All right, thanks much, Karen.
You're welcome. I'm sorry for
about all the bridge. What do we got going on tonight?
I think it's limiting how many people can call in, because Roxanne said it told her that she could not enter.
Wow. Okay, what other questions do we have?
Roxanne, did you have a question?
No.
Okay.
Hey, Dr. Yates, Cornelius, I have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
Do you still want us to send these things in early, like if we send them in during week 7, because they're not due until the end of week 8 or something, and you'll take a look at them and turn them back around?
Yeah, that's a great. So sure, if you want to submit it early, you can, and get it kind of off your plate and have a little more space, to finish your other coursework and transition into the next term. This, though, once it goes into the Blackboard and we submit it and I go through the revisions for that grade will stand for the end of this quarter, right? So I can give you edits, or, you can drop me an email. We can go through and make revisions or give you suggestions, what have you, until the due date. But if you submit it into the Blackboard and it goes through, then I'll grade, that contribution and give you the feedback. And you're done with it. You don't have to do it again. We've done it twice, right?
Can I get my paper back and redo it?
Well, everybody has done it. We've all redone the same submission for Unit 5, and that we're doing for Unit 6. So we've all had the opportunity to get feedback from Unit 5 and then submit it to Unit 6. So
I turned in Unit 6 already.
Okay, then you're good to go.
Okay.
Once you submit it, you can't resubmit to the classwork.
Oh,
that's what I was thinking, Dr. Yates, was that the second time we submit it, if it's not before the end of Unit 6, we could get it back and resubmit it again, maybe.
No, for the Blackboard and FERPA and all those types of violations, we can only submit one time into Blackboard, and that sticks for Unit 6.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
so if I submit another one, would you take the updated one?
No, there's no updated revisions into Unit 6. Once you submit it to Unit 6, then it's graded. That's where we land for the term. But you should be excited to be done with it. We got lots of work in front of you. No need to redo,
Okay, then I won't cry then.
Okay. Was my feedback helpful on the template for Unit 5? I tried to turn around.
Yes, it actually was, except it didn't help me on the third section. I was confused on my third section. On like part 3. Let's see.
And I'm just waiting to see what mine's going to look like now.
Dr. Yates, hi, Lori Smith, how are you?
Good.
Hi, I did resubmit. You did grade my original one. However, you did make some recommendations, and so I did resubmit something 1122. This basically, if you could have the opportunity to look at that and give me some more guidance, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, did you submit it into Blackboard, Lori, or?
Yes.
Did you go ahead and submit it to Unit 6?
I had to look and see. So if I already submitted it at 5 and you graded it, the next one has to be submitted in Unit 6.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
But you can drop, if you haven't submitted in the Blackboard, feel free to drop it to me in an email, or with any kind of questions that I can go through and look at that and offer you feedback. I haven't gotten to grading Unit 6 yet, right, because we're still 2 weeks ahead. But knowing that it's there, if you submit it to Unit 6, I'll go through and look at it.
Yeah, it's in Unit 6.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll go through and look at it and start grading Unit 6 if we're getting those through. You guys are doing great, you're ahead.
Well, you encourage me with...
Ahead because this is something you've already graded. I don't have the paper. I resubmit it with the template.
That's correct. That's all you need to resubmit is the template, and that you're done with the Unit 6 work. It's just the template for Unit 5 and Unit 6 for my class.
Okay.
For the residency course.
Well, I think you were pleased with the next submission that I put in for Unit 6 because you gave me some encouragement on that one. And I was like, yay, so I must have followed your instructions.
Good. I think it's a nice process. Hopefully you see the benefit in doing it once, getting feedback, and doing it again, right, for Unit 5 and Unit 6.
Yes.
And kind of building on each other. It's much better than just doing it once and then just leaving it alone.
Right.
Dr. Yates, I would suggest that the residency, they would spend more time in us doing this rather than, I thought that we had a sufficient amount of time working on a problem statement during the residency.
Yeah, it all goes by so fast, right, in the residency. We did spend like a half a day on it in the residency, so we did spend a pretty good chunk of time, but I'll take that, as we work with the next group of students on the problem statement.
Okay.
Hey, Dr. Yates, let me get some clarification because I think I'm a little bit confused about when to submit these templates. Unit 5 ran for 2 weeks. It ran for Unit 5 and Unit 6, and at the end of Unit 6, you were supposed to have submitted that. If you submitted it at Unit 5, you were still submitting the Unit 6 submission for that problem statement. And then Unit 7 and Unit 8 runs for 2 weeks. There's really only one requirement to submit one time, and you submit finally on Unit 8 by 12 o'clock. So if there's not a Unit 5, a Unit 6, a Unit 7, and a Unit 8 submission, there's only 2 submissions, one for Unit 6 and one for Unit 8.
Correct.
Okay, good.
Correct.
I thought I had misunderstood that.
That's correct.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's it's confusing because you have 2 weeks to work on it versus just the 1 week.
It's not confusing to me. I enjoyed that extra week.
I get, it's confusing to me because I want to make sure that I am grading quickly, so everybody gets feedback as soon as possible.
So, Dr. Yates, what other classes are we going to have you in the future?
I don't know. Probably if I teach project management, but I'll probably continue to work next term. They've got me scheduled to work with the new starts of the DIT residency. So
we won't have you.
No, you might have me. You might have me. And but we've got there's an all-star group of faculty, and everybody brings different strengths, to the table. So I'm excited for you to interact with people like Dr. Dominguez and Dr. Chow and some of the other very high-end expertise that will collaborate with you in the classroom. That's part of I think of the uniqueness of the journey, and in particular online education, is you get to touch a lot of different types of approaches and faculty, and they're bringing their expertise in the classroom, not just one, right, to where in other institutions you might just interact with 1 or 2 faculty the entire time. So at Capella, you're going to get the richness of touching a lot of different faculty members.
Sounds good to me.
Were you just circling back? I'll go through and look at that Unit 6 and get those edits over to you tomorrow.
Yeah, I actually found some other information. Let's do this, Dr. Yates. Let me resubmit that, and then I would probably prefer you look at the second submission rather than the one I sent to you last week.
Okay, if you want to send it to me in an email too, that works.
Okay, I'll prefer to do that.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I found some more information, some more research, and I think I'm starting to drill it down further. So
it's definitely an iterative process, right? So don't get frustrated if you feel like you're orbiting and orbiting, you know, refine, refine, refine. That's kind of the nature of the process.
So, Dr. Yates, this is Nikki. So my question is, and I think I
Yay, Nikki, you made it on the call.
I've been on the call the whole entire time. I just been
Oh, you have? Good, good, good. Sorry, I just was worried we left people on the other side.
My question is, I sent my Unit 5 to you, and I think I talked to you before that I had changed my topic after I talked to Dr. Dominguez. So should I send you a new, should I send you the new topic for sampling, like through email before I submit it to Unit 6?
You can if you would like, if you feel more comfortable getting, you know, feedback on it.
But I can get feedback because with this one I don't have feedback. You gave me feedback on the old topic.
Right. Yeah, that's fine. If you want the feedback on it, you know, I'm happy to do that. I grade what I see in the blackboard, you know. So I think that the timing was just a little off. So, yeah, feel free to send it over to me. I'll look at it. Send it to me in an email, right? And then I'll go through and... But I remember... yeah, no problem. I remember you saying you'd met with Dr. Dominguez and shifted your topic a bit, so...
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. I'm still trying. Wow.
Christoph, did you make it on the call?
Yes, I'm here. I've just been listening in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions on your side?
Not yet for me. I've just been reviewing your email and just formulating what I'm going to be doing on mine. So I'll have mine resubmitted probably for one more piece of feedback before I turn it in this weekend.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
So, Dr. Yates?
And mine will be coming your way. I got your email, Dr. Yates. Mine will be coming your way.
And who is that that's coming my way?
That's Rossi.
Hi, Rossi. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
And Dr. Yates, mine is turned in already. This is David Walker. Mine is turned in already, and so I don't know what the turnaround time is on that one.
For Unit 5 or Unit 5 is done. Unit 6 I haven't started yet. So
no, mine is for Unit 6. For Unit 6.
So Unit 6, I'm going to try to get. I'll start working on them. But my primary thing is to make sure that we got all feedback done on Unit 5 right over the weekend. So I'll start tomorrow grading Unit 6.
Okay, no problem. So were we a bunch of good guinea pigs?
I don't think you're guinea pigs. You're pioneers.
Okay, that's a better word.
Yeah.
I like that.
We blaze the trail.
I like that.
Blazing the trail. Blazing the trail. You know, I mentioned this on the previous call with Dr. D last week, or I forgot, week before last. I was invited to go to the Corporate Learning Week, and I sat at a round table with, like, Ericsson, NCR, Cisco, MetLife, and they were all really excited to hear about the DIT program, how we're positioning the kind of technical approach to solving business problems. And I was really, excited to brag about what we're doing in some of the topics, not with names, just at a very generic level about how we're really solving technical problems. So I think there's a big splash in the marketplace, and anytime I can promote your brand and the brand of the DIT program and what we're doing in a forum like that. I'm really excited to do so. So I just wanted to share that with you, that there's a lot of buzz out there that is going on. Yeah, Bank of America was there as well. So,
wow.
yeah, it's all about, making sure that they understand the quality of the program that you're going through and the type of outcome that you're going to have on the other side with your dissertation and all of the research work. So it's exciting. It's very exciting. As you are the pioneers, the world is kind of watching and excited to receive you on the other side. What other questions? Any other questions? Does anybody have a topic that they want to share with the team or anything they want to brag about they accomplished the last couple of weeks?
Just staying caught up with all the coursework, because I've been busy every weekend this month. I've been on the road.
Yeah. It's really any secrets for time management of how you've been able to do it while you're traveling on the road?
But I try to take care of everything up front, get my discussions out of the way, because I don't really have a problem with writing papers. I'm pretty good at that.
That's good.
Hey, Dr. Yates, can you share your screen and show us how to search through Google Scholar? Because there were some that weren't on the call with us.
Yeah, let me see if I can open it up real quick. While I'm opening up the Google Scholar, the working ahead and staying ahead is a real, a good tip, right? Whenever you can get ahead.
But don't you make everybody else look bad? I'm just...
No, it's
that's at Cornelius.
You don't have to do it. You don't have to submit it, so do it down.
You mean you don't have to submit it. The overachievers.
Yeah.
But you never know. Last week we had I had probably 3 or 4 students that experienced death. Right? I mean, it's just like you just never know if someone close to them. You just never know when life is going to happen. So if you can have things done ahead of time and be prepared for the unexpected.
Right. I just had 3 myself this week.
Wow.
3 this week.
My goodness.
Yeah. You learn to roll. You learn to roll with it, though. It happens, and that's that's the story of life. None of us are here to stay forever. So, I think I stopped crying when my mother was killed in a car accident. Mother's Day weekend.
Dr. T, are you there? Oops, hands.
Wow.
But the hard part is when one is the same age with you, that really rocks you.
Okay, can you guys see my screen okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Just to kind of elaborate on Google Scholar, so I'm just at the open Google Scholar, scholar.google.com, and I've used the word culture, which is one of the most largely cited things in the field on the management side. But if you look here, so it says cited by 4,026 articles. So this particular publication is cited 4,000 times.
Can you make it larger? Can you make the screen larger?
Karen, asking me. Yes, is that better?
I was thinking about the share part at the top, the red border. If you enlarge that, it would be better.
Oh, you can move that. You can move that around.
Okay. All right, that's better. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. So here it says how many sites this particular article has. So for instance, if you, here's one that has 9,574. So these are all really big citations. So give me a topic that's narrow that you could see the opposite side.
So if we click the custom range, like down below on the left-hand side, custom range, down right there, and say 2013 through 2015. I only want articles from 2013 to 2015. Would that help to, yeah, that would help to narrow things down.
A little bit, but see here on the top here, and there's 453,000 results for the word culture. So the topic is too broad.
Okay, gotcha.
Actual. So that's why it's important, and it's better to do the searches, in my opinion, in the university library. You've got that archive there. It's all organized in EBSCOhost or whatever search tool you're using. But for instance, for the citations, if you use culture and innovation, which is my dissertation topic, now it's starting to narrow it down. So here's one that's only cited 19 times, this particular article.
Wow.
So it would be kind of less popular than the article here on quality management for organizational excellence.
Okay.
So that's what Dr. D is referring to as the number of sites of a particular article. Does that make sense? So the more frequently it's cited, the more popular that particular article is.
Awesome.
Any questions on that? It's pretty simple.
No, I got it.
Yeah.
So I don't have to use the quotations. I can just put and word.
You can. I would not veer away from the way that you're used to search appropriately, right? Because it might limit. So I was just using the and.
Okay.
To just quickly come up with the different ones. The quotations also work. It depends on where you're searching and why you're searching, right? And what you want to come up with. I just searched just things that had culture and innovation in the title just to show you some of these big ones.
Wow, that's pretty good. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Yates.
Oh, yeah, no problem. What other questions or any other comments that I can help with?
Well, if we use the library, well, which I do, but I'm saying, like, we can see the citation in Google Scholar. Can we see the citations amount in the library as well?
Correct. So when you say the library, remember there's like probably 50 different search engines within the library. So if you use EBSCOhost or ProQuest or what is,
Well, I'm speaking of Capella's library.
So Capella's library, though, is a composite of, all these different databases. So when you go in and you're looking at the different search engines, or however, whichever area you're going through, they'll all have it in a different format or different layout. But to answer your question, yes, it'll show how many times a particular article has been cited.
Okay.
And I wouldn't get too hung up on it, right? It's just it's kind of just like a temperature check. It's not a fast, hard rule.
Okay.
Hey, Dr. Yates, is it more preferred for us to use the Capella library versus the Google Scholar, or vice versa?
Yes, my preferred option would be to use the Capella library. One, there are a bunch of paid references. Some of the Google Scholar doesn't have access to some periodicals that you have to pay additional money for. and the university has already paid that to have those particular journals that are subscription-based, so you have access to it. And the second reason why it's advantageous to use the university library is if for something you come into a roadblock where you're looking for additional content in a research area that you just can't seem to find information on, if you reach out to the librarian or the librarian team, they'll help fulfill that research if you've already kind of exhausted your search within the library. If you come at it and say, hey, I looked at Google Scholar and I couldn't find anything, their next response is, well, you need to use the university library because it's a deeper resource pool.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and don't forget to use the librarian. I mean, the librarian team is there. You know, it's part of your tuition. There are resources for you. Feel free to reach out to them at any time you need additional support.
Okay. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, they're huge help. And, you know, if there is a book that's actual hard text, like an actual textbook or some sort of book, tangible book, they can do a university library exchange too and send that over to you. So, for instance, if you're searching something and it says full text not available, you can submit, you know, interoffice library loan, and the librarian team will seek to see if it's part of the conglomerate of libraries, right, in a hard text.
Okay. Because I've run across a couple of documents where I thought I could use it as a reference, and then as a source, and then when I went to go view the article, it said it wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So in that particular case, if the full text is not available, you want to submit, you know, requests from the library.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Sounds good.
Well, I think I'm good.
Any other questions? Where are you guys on comfort level or stress level? Everybody feeling confident finishing up their first term? It's exciting.
Definitely confident.
Yeah, I'm scared that it's coming to an end. I'm scared of changing professors.
Who is that?
We've gotten so used to you, and it's going to be scary.
Well, don't be scared.
All over again.
Well, all the faculty I will say all the faculty have similar culture and respect for students and excited to be supporting of you and seeking the best for you and like success. You know, we're all student success focused. Okay? So it'll be a different personality with a different set of strengths, you know. However, everybody in the faculty community really thrives on student success, and it's kind of all-in attitude. Okay. So you won't see a lot of transition in, you know, nobody will ever go MIA or lack responding to you or that type of thing. Everybody's super.
Please enter a number followed by the pound key.
Hello?
Hey, Maureen, are you there?
Yes, Jimmy has me patched in, so I got to put it back over.
Okay. Well, I was just checking. I was going to conference you in the call.
Okay, yeah, I'm conferencing right now.
All right, good.
Okay.
Bye.
In that part of your future, but I don't know exactly kind of when he's on the horizon.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. I'll tell him you'll ask about it
That
though.
time.
All right, we ready to go? Dr. Chow also wants to schedule time with the team to go through and talk about mentoring in a deep dive. So I'm going to schedule a conversation for Wednesday of this week. Of course, it's optional, but if you have time to join, Dr. Chow will be available to talk in detail about mentoring and any of kind of questions or concerns around the mentoring process. So,
Dr. D has a group session for Wednesday.
yeah, I'm aware of that.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yep, no worries, no worries. We've got probably too many things going on right now, but we definitely want to just make sure that we're really supporting you in every way we can, right? So,
Okay.
so of course.
What time is Dr. D's?
No, what
It's
time is
6
Dr. D?
o'clock my Central Time for me.
Oh, okay. What time?
So 7 would be Eastern Time. I don't know where you guys are located, but 7 o'clock is his time.
I'll have him send out a note to the group again with his conversation time, if that would be helpful.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Well, thanks everyone. Again, my apologies on the Adobe dropping us on audio.
Well, I recorded for you, so I'll send it to you.
Okay, you can just post it in our discussion board too, if you'd like.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, all right.
Thank
Sounds
you.
good. Hope everybody has a good
Uh-oh.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
All right, have a good one.